Man, Tom, I really wish this past week didn't happen. Welcome back to the Fumble Forecast Week 4 with your good friends Mark and Tom, covering all the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful football that happened in Week 4.
Yeah, by wonderful, you mean
I mean,
it was not good for us Eagles fans, man.
There were some highlights.
Oh, well, yeah, but not in the way that we want.
Yeah, no, agreed. So let's start it off with Thursday night football divisional match. Dallas versus
Oh, yeah, I
Giants.
forgot they played last time because we recorded on Friday last week. I forgot that we were saving that for this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cowboys are trash. And I don't mean that in a way where I'm like biased or joking around. The Cowboys are barely beating teams that'll have like 4 wins on the season.
Yeah. They beat the Giants, the New York Giants, one of the worst NFC teams, by only 5 points.
Yeah, so you say one of the worst NFC teams, but a lot of their matches have been relatively close. Like the Giants have not been anywhere near as bad as I expected, and I loathe to say it, Daniel Penny's has not looked that bad. He really hasn't looked like the total trash can that I know he is. So I was pretty impressed with him actually last Thursday. Um, but yeah, what are your major takeaways from that game?
I agree. Daniel Jones not looking terrible. He threw for almost 300 yards. Like
Yes, sir.
with what was his completion rate that game? With
It
a
was pretty good. He
70,
went 29 for 40.
yeah, it's like almost 3/4, 75% completion,
Yeah, he did quite well at
which is
some technical wizardry.
yeah. Malik Neighbors showing off why he was a good pick
First round pick.
for the Giants. Uh, 12 of said 29 reception passes for 115 yards and averaging almost 10 yards each time he touches the ball.
He's pretty decent.
And what else? What else? Okay.
So I think that listen. I'm an Eagles fan. I hate to say this, but Dak Prescott is not the issue with the Dallas Cowboys, and I've heard quite a few Dallas Cowboys fans who have started to kind of throw Dak Prescott under the bus. Homie, that guy threw 22 for 27, 221 yards and 2 touchdown passes. You cannot blame that man for losing that game. Like, he played well.
Yeah. No.
No picks either. So did he have any fumbles, do you know? I don't think he didn't even have any fumbles. He played as well as you could possibly expect your quarterback to play. So
Yeah, no.
I really don't know what the hell was happening in this game. They kind of just got stymied by the Giants.
Yeah, and this is the problem. They they just aren't an actual team. Like you have
They're
the
not good.
pieces, you
They're
have the
all in.
pieces, you have the pieces there, you know.
Mm-mm.
We can say what we will.
No, you don't. They have 4 players
Okay.
on their team.
Okay. Yeah, they do. They don't have every piece that they could use, but Dak is not the problem. Is he? I Ezekiel Elliott not good.
I don't know why he's still playing, dude.
He's not good. CD Lamb is CD Lamb. He's a good.
I mean, he's good. He's awesome.
a good wideout. If he was on a better team, he'd probably be an even higher rated wideout.
I mean, I'd love to have him out on the Eagles. I mean, that'd be great if he was our number 3.
Yeah, but I wanted to bring up this comment that I saw that I forget exactly where I got it. I think I might have gotten it from First Take or maybe some article. I don't remember. But apparently, Derrick Henry, current Baltimore running back, he lives in Dallas and expressed interest in going
No,
to
this was
Dallas.
me who told you this.
Oh, this was you? Oh, okay. Expressed interest in going to Dallas. And Jerry Jones says can't afford him
Uh huh.
with like I forget what the number was, maybe like the extra like 10, 12 million
Dude, they
in
they
cap,
have a
cap
huge amount
space.
of cap space right
In
now.
cap space. You
They're clowns, man.
let me just I'm just gonna pull up the Ravens game real quick to read
Yeah,
off
he's a super freak.
King Henry's stats that game versus Buffalo this week. 24 carries, 199 yards, 8.3 average a carry.
He's a freak, man. Like I Jerry Jones is not trying to actually win football games.
Thank God Jerry Jones did
Is
not
Jerry
pick him
Jones.
up because if Dallas had, they could easily be running the division.
It wouldn't even be a close comparison. If they had Derrick Henry, they'd be absolutely curb stomping the division. It wouldn't like, quite frankly, I think if you take Derrick Henry and plug him in on the Cowboys, I see them as a potential Super Bowl contender.
Oh, absolutely. I believe that as well.
Yeah. I I he's all
I
in, Mark. He's all in.
Why couldn't he have come to Philly?
Well, I honestly I'm happier to have Saquon Barkley because I think he has a longer lifespan left in him, but
I
you
think
know how it
so.
is.
Eh. Um, but yeah, it really hurts me that we are currently tied with the Cowboys.
Yeah, whatever, who cares? We need to worry more about the Commanders anyway.
Yes, Tommies.
Is
Speaking
that our
of,
next topic?
I
Cuz
think I
I
think
wrote the
we
book.
I think we need to address. I think we need to address them.
Yeah, it's totally fun.
Like,
I was waiting until later, but I want to jump on this one actually. Jane
all right,
Daniels is a terrifying individual for every single other NFC fan, NFC East football fan. If you are not a fan of the commies right now, Jaden Daniels is quite literally your worst fucking nightmare. This man went 26 for 30, 233 yards, one touchdown pass, one rushing touchdown, and only one interception to win the game against the Cardinals. And they curb stomped the Cardinals. Like, it wasn't a light beating. Jaden Daniels fucking skinned them alive. 42-14 final score. They
yeah,
fucking stomped on their neck until it bled. I just. The Commanders realistically might win the division. And honestly, if the Eagles don't get their shit together, I think that they might be a legitimate playoff threat. The Commanders, which is
mm,
something I never thought I was going to say for at least the next 10 years, but they've really worked hard to get their shit together. The coaching is on point. The quarterback, they finally found him and put him in there in a spot to win, a spot for success. And the receivers are balling out. Terry McLaurin has got to be having the time of his fucking life now. He actually has a quarterback. He's doing his thing. He's catching the balls. He's having a good time.
mm.
I think that if you're a Commanders fan, stock is going up, brother. Like, invest now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Well,
high on the communists.
it's it's eerily similar to CJ Stroud. Like you get
Yeah,
like this garbage team picks up a rookie quarterback
and
and
he's good.
and he's fucking amazing.
And he's good.
Like I I
It's just
am
depressing.
I am very concerned about the commies.
Yeah. We should be. As Eagles fans, we should be absolutely fucking terrified of the
Yeah,
communists.
especially after
They're just really good.
this week's performance.
All right, so we jumping into the Eagles now.
Uh,
It's kind of the
well,
elephant in the room for us right now.
of course it is. We are Eagles fan. We must
Yep. So we
address
have to
the
jump in.
elephant. All right.
You want to go
I'm
first?
yeah. Let me just get this off my chest. All right.
No, I won't allow it.
For the love of God, figure it out. I get it. Every year since the Super Bowl run. Well, I wasn't into football until the Super Bowl run. Was were Johnson and Shannon or Gannon what our
Gannon and
coordinators?
Steichen.
Gannon and Steichen. Were they our coordinators in 21 as
Yeah,
well?
that was their
They were.
second year.
That was their second year.
It was
Okay.
either their second or third, but I'm pretty sure it was their second year as coordinators.
Okay. Stop changing the coaching staff, please. For the love of God.
Mark,
Oh
you
my
are
God.
welcome to my side. It's okay. We welcome you.
Oh,
I have said this
I
for 2 years.
look.
I have been saying
I don't.
consistency in coaching staff is how you win championships, which is the ultimate goal, right? So have some consistency in your coaching staff. Of course, it doesn't guarantee anything, but it certainly
Were,
helps when players know the scheme.
were we out our top receivers? Yes. Does Jalen suffer when he doesn't have AJ or Devontae to throw to? Yes. That they
Any
very
quarterback would.
yeah. Any quarterback would, and Jalen does. All right. Could Saquon have broken some more tackles, found some more holes to get some more yards? Sure. I I'm just I'm there is something to be said about how the players were playing, but I do believe ultimately 90% of the blame, don't give me that look, 90% of the blame is on the coaching staff.
We agree.
I don't I don't obviously we have no flies on the walls inside the NovaCare. Is that where
Yeah, the
they
NovaCare complex. Yeah,
the NovaCare complex? We have no flies in there. We have
official
no
physical
idea.
therapist rehabilitation center of the Philadelphia Eagles.
We have no idea what's being said behind closed doors. But please, I thought coming into this, I thought Vic Fangio. All right, Dolphins didn't look super great defensively, but they looked like they could tackle. I don't know how we still haven't kind of nailed that down
All
in
right,
four
so
games.
hold up.
Yeah.
They've nailed down the tackling. It's the defensive
Eh,
scheme that is the problem, okay? There were very few missed tackles in this week's game. It wasn't a missed
eh,
tackles problem. It was a nobody was in the right fucking spot at the right time problem. Well, hold on. Let me be clear. Everything was the problem in this game against the Buccaneers for the Eagles. But let me roll you back a little bit here. Are you done, or can I jump
I
in?
I d- little to no pressure in the defensive scheme. All right, we picked up Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis. We assembled the Bulldogs front line essentially, from their championship run. And as far as I understand, Vic Fangio doesn't really like the pressure game, the pressure scheme, but you can run it a little bit more than you have, Vic. You know, because we have these two fucking giants on our team that need to be double teamed every time. You know, you could do that. Brandon Graham got a sack, the one and only, but it was pulled back because of a fucking flag. Uh, and then Shanahan.
Shanahan.
Uh, Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore. Okay, I was like,
They
Shanahan, what the hell? He wasn't even there.
they all look the same, so I get the names confused. They look the same. All right,
They look
Kellen Moore.
nothing alike at all.
Kellen Moore. I was hoping that the scheming would be better than Brian Johnson
All
because
right, come on, come on, bro. It's better. It's not
it's
even close.
yeah, I know it was a joke. It was a joke, but to me, could be a little bit better considering how much longer you've been in the league, in a head coach type position.
Oh man, I got a lot of words for what you're saying right now, Marky.
All right. And Sirianni. I really want to like you. I do like you, but you're letting me down. I
I
really
mean, if they
hate
go
that.
on a tear and win the next 6 games, you will not give a fuck.
I will give a fuck. I will give a fuck, Tom.
If they win the next 6 games in a row, I won't
Yeah,
even give a fuck.
yeah. Tom, I will be right there. Whoa, Super
Eight
Bowl.
and two,
Listen, I will be right there. 8-2. Whoa, suck our dick, William.
bro.
Best fucking
If
team.
you aren't saying that we're the best
But
team in football at 8 and 2, I don't know what to
I'm
tell you.
I'm saying I'm going to be right there. But it needs to be addressed. Is he good enough for after that? Is he good enough to stay?
He's not doing
Because,
anything as far as play calling is concerned. Every single play call that you have an issue with on the offense, the Eagles as an organization have made it extremely clear that it is 100% Kellen Moore. 100%. Nick
all right, so
Sirianni
then
does not even call one offensive play in a game.
what is his role on the team then?
He coaches players, he motivates them, he sets
Okay.
the company culture, he teaches mechanics, he helps to organize the coaching staff and put them in a position where they can succeed. He helps come up with the overall scheme, and he does a lot of work with special teams. I'm not a player working under him, so I don't really know exactly what he does, but all of the players have his back. I mean, literally every single one of them talks about how good of a coach he is. Even the ones that have retired. Now,
I suppose this
le-
is what being an Eagles fan is. So, Doug Peterson won the Super Bowl a year or two later, ran the fuck out of Philly.
yep.
It's very frustrating. All right,
Welcome to the Eagles as an organization, big dog.
you
Well,
have words
welcome to
you
the
wish to
Eagles
say.
fans. All
You have
right, yeah.
words you
So
wish
I
to
got a lot.
say, and I will hand
First of
that to
all,
you.
you said 90% of the blame belongs on the coaches. I agree with you that this is mostly the coach's fault, but you cannot overlook the fact that this is the single worst game of Jalen Hurts' entire career. And it's
Oh yeah,
not close. It's not
oh yeah.
close. I don't care who your receivers are. You cannot give up um let's see, 6 sacks. And you cannot let me read this correctly. Have more incompletions than your starting running back has carries. Saquon Barkley touched the ball 10 times in this football game. Jalen Hurts had 11 incompletions. So, yeah, it is the coaches, but you cannot overlook that Jalen Hurts had 2 fumbles. One of them he lost. You cannot overlook the fact that he had more incompletions than the running back had touches on the ball. And you cannot ignore the fact that he took 6 fucking sacks in this game. That is insane. Insane. The fucking Buccaneers were having the game of their season against Jalen Hurts this past week. And here's why it's coaching related. So exactly what I just talked about. Why the fuck does your quarterback have more incompletions than the running back has touches? Why are you not calling any running plays? What is going on here? How are you thinking in your skull bone that that's a good idea? How does that make sense to you? Because for me, I just paid the shit out of my ass for Saquon Barkley. He's getting more than 10 touches in a game. And you know what? I am sick and fucking tired of hearing this shit from Sirianni and Kellen Moore and just the Eagles in general, that whoever has the hot hand is the one that they're going to give the ball to. Fucking bullshit. You had Jalen out there forcing the ball in so many situations. Saquon Barkley clearly had the hot hand. It wasn't a comparison. He clearly had the hot... Here, hold on. Bing. Let me pull this up really quick. Cha-ching. An 8.4 yards per carry average. 84 yards total in 10 carries. And I was wrong. Jalen Hurts had 12 incompletions, not 11. So what is going on with the coaching staff where they aren't calling running plays? What do you have a running back who's getting 8.4 yards a carry, and you're not gonna run him, dude? Run that man into the fucking dirt.
Or you have a quarterback that also likes to run too.
No.
I know you're against. I know you don't like it, but he does.
Well, the thing is, he ran. He did run. He had 8 carries. Jalen Hurts ran with it 8 times for 20 yards in this game for 2.5 yards a carry and 1 touchdown. Great job on the touchdown, Jalen. Stop fumbling the ball. Like I don't know what else to say. The dude needs to stop it with his foolishness. The way that he is holding the ball and trying to take care of the ball security is not fucking there. He needs to be more conscious of what's going on the field, and he needs to be more conscious of the basic mechanics of getting rid of the fucking ball if 6 seconds have gone by, or 7 seconds have gone by, or sometimes in this game, 12 seconds have gone by. Brother, these guys are giving you so much protection up front, and you still can't get rid of the ball. Like, bro, the only thing is, just don't take a sack. That is the one rule. Just do not take a sack. And he couldn't fucking help himself. He had to take a sack. Lumpy is running defense on me right now. That was like a Jalen Hurts offensive line sack right there. That was insane. She got right in the backfield, right in my face. But it's just, it blows my mind that they just are not using the fucking running back. It doesn't make any fucking sense. If you combine the carries that the running back had, that both running backs had, Kenny Gainwell and Saquon Barkley, it is equal to the number of incompletions that Jalen Hurts threw in this game.
Mm-hmm.
There's no excuse for that. That's just bad scheme. I'm coming for you, Kellen Moore. You better watch yourself, or else you will end up on Fraud Watch. I'm warning you. I know you care a lot, but you will end up on fraud watch. And I mean that's just where the offense was because, dude, I'm sorry, but Dallas Goedert came off of a 170-yard receiving yard game last week. Where the fuck was he in this game? He was nowhere to be found. I mean, don't get me wrong, he still did have a pretty decent game. I mean, he had 7 catches for 62 yards, which is pretty decent. But it's just like that's the best was 62 yards. We need a receiver who's getting at least 100 yards every game. Every single game. No exceptions. Like, yeah, you had injuries, but next man up, brother. I just was very disappointed in the offense in this game. And I'm not going to lie, it wasn't just the offense. The defense was catastrophic for the Eagles. So in the press conference after the game, they were asking Vic Fangio questions. And one of the questions they asked him is, where's the press coverage? Why aren't you doing press coverage? For those of you who don't know, it's when you press into the man that you're covering. It like limits the amount of space that they have to move, essentially. And what Vic Fangio said was, it sounded like, at least, I don't know if he was answering a different question, like in one really long answer because they asked him a bunch of questions. So I don't know if he was trying to answer something else. But he essentially said that he leaves it up to the players to decide whether or not they're going to go into press or not. What do you mean you're leaving it up to the players? Like, maybe the captains on the defense you can leave that up to, but you're telling me that the rookies who are out there are getting to decide something like that? They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're rookies. Like, listen, Quinyon Mitchell had a whale of a game. He had some real major stops, but he is a fucking rookie and doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, and you can't give him choices like that. If that's what Vic Fangio meant when he said that, we got some serious question marks going on there with his decision making as far as the defensive scheme is concerned. At least I have some big question marks there because you can't leave shit like that up to rookies. They're not ready. You can't convince me that the rookies are ready to make decisions like that. Just put that motherfucker in zone coverage and let him do his thing. But Jesus Christ, I just... Or stick him man on somebody. And, dude, the lack of blitzing is just... Like, I knew when Vic Fangio was coming in that his defensive style is extremely conservative. His idea is don't give up the big play. That's his entire defensive philosophy. His philosophy revolves around the idea of, like, allowing little tiny dink and dunk plays, but not letting up the 20-yard big one. Well, you failed on both fronts in this past week, Mr. Fangio. You need to fucking smack Baker Mayfield in the mouth so that he can taste his own blood. I just do not understand. Like, the thing for me is, how do you not adjust in the game? Like, on those first 3 possessions that the Buccaneers had, how are you not sitting there shitting your pants going, oh my fucking God, I'm throwing the scheme right in the trash? Because, like, I get that there's tons of preparation and you can't just switch a scheme up or anything, but just change, like, a few plays here and there, see if something else works. Like, do anything other than nothing. It's just like the ability of the coaching staff to adjust in that game was completely exposed to the whole world. I think that the Buccaneers just showed you everything you need to see in order to know how to completely box out the Eagles on defense. It was just the quick plays where you dissect.
The team stays unchanged.
Yeah, exactly. They showed you beat the Eagles with short throwing plays where you just dissect the defense until they play forward, and then you just go for the deep ball when they start playing forward. And that's exactly what the Buccaneers did, and the Eagles fell for it hook, line, and sinker. The inexperience of the players on the defense was really exposed in this game. Todd Bowles took full advantage of the Eagles' defense, like their lack of experience with seeing certain types of schemes.
Mhm.
And yeah, that was that. However, um, I am not hitting the panic button on the Philadelphia Eagles yet.
It's
And the
way too
reason,
early.
well, it's not just too early. It's that I think they are going to get much better as the season goes on. The defense is very young. There's a lot of like first time on the field talents happening for the Eagles. Some of these guys have never played on the same field together, and we're only 4 games in. So I think that as the season goes on, they're going to get better and better and better and better and better, and eventually, I think they'll even be really good. But it's going to be too little too late, I think, by the time that happens for the defense. For the offense, there's no excuse. A.J. Brown's been here for years. Devonta Smith's been here for years. Dallas Goedert's been here for years. 80% of the O-line has been here for years. I just, I don't understand how the offense isn't having that chemistry right now. It doesn't make sense. And something that I'm worried about is that I don't know how Jalen is going to take it. Because we saw last season, he kind of just shut down after the team started losing. Like, he kind of cloistered himself up in a shell. And I'm really concerned that if we start getting on a little bit of a downward trend here, that he gets stuck in a rut, and that would be disastrous for the team. I think that he won't, just because his intangibles are kind of his biggest selling point, but I am highly concerned that something like that could happen. I'm not so sure that the team is veteran enough at this point to be able to handle multiple losses. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. But the fact that the defense is so young and hasn't played on the same field a whole lot, and therefore that's why I think they're struggling a little bit. It would have been a real fucking great idea to let them play in the fucking preseason together. And then they'd have at least in total something closer to 6 games together of experience. Just what the fuck is this not playing them in the preseason shit? Most of them are rookies or first time starters. How are you not going to let them play together as much as possible? It doesn't make sense to me. I think it was a mistake to not have them play at least a half in each of the preseason games. And I rest my case on the Philadelphia Eagles game. So, Marky, one thing for the Eagles game, I saw a fun game that some of the Eagles fans were playing online.
No.
We're gonna call it "Should I Stay or Should I Go Now?" So do you remember at the beginning of the season in the preseason what your prediction for wins was? Because I remember mine. I went 12-5. What was yours?
I think I might have been 13-4.
Yeah, I think
Like
I
we
think
were,
that
we were
sounds right.
we were pretty similar. I don't think we were exactly both. Like
I said 12 wins. So
I think what I would have said would have been like 12 to 13 wins, leaning more towards 13. That would have been what I probably
yeah,
would have said.
and I was expecting 12. So here's the question, Mark: Are you holding them or folding them, buddy? Are you staying or are you going? I will give you a one-time free pass to change your prediction for the record of the Eagles this season. A one-time pass. You can even change it to something just like 11, like still good, but not 13.
Mm-hmm. I can I take this pass in week 6?
No, it's a one-time offer right now.
Like because it's like all
Week
right,
6
so
is too much information.
yeah, I know. That's why I wanted. It's
No,
like
you're not getting
we're
it.
we're we're going into
You
the
have to pick
bye.
now.
All right, we're going into the bye.
Yep.
We have, and after the bye, we
Play the
have
Browns.
we play Browns, New York, the play the Browns, Giants, Bengals, Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
Jacksonville should be a win. If we lose to Jacksonville, that's it. Season's over.
Well, I don't know about that. I think if we lose to the Giants, that's it. Season's over.
True.
Or the Panthers.
The the conservative side of me wants to go down.
You can do that, but you can't have it back. You can't change your mind once you decide to go. You must choose, Marky. I wish I could have like the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music play it in the background.
Why are you doing this to me?
You have to choose, Mark. Choose.
12.
You're dropping the 12.
I'm dropping to 12.
Dude, I was hoping you would take a little bit of time to answer because I'm still thinking about it.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, asshole. You have to make your pick now too, asshole.
Yeah, for me, I think it's gonna be either 11 or 12 still.
No, you have
So
to pick one.
I may as well
pick one.
I'm picking one. Jesus,
No,
let me finish my sentence, young man.
I'm being just like you. Fuck you. Pick one.
But I didn't even hesitate. I was still talking. But anyway, I think it's going to be an 11 or a 12 win season for the Eagles still. But I'm going to stay. I think I stay at 12. I think that's where they're going to go. They're going to have to win a game that I didn't expect them to at the beginning of the season, somewhere in the midst here. Maybe the one against the Ravens. If they can pull that one off, they'll gain an extra win in my my column. But I think I'm going to stay at 12. Actually, I'm still hopeful for the team. I'm not pressing the big red button. But remember, for the record, guys, Mark changed his prediction like a coward.
Fuck you. Fuck you, asshole.
No, in all seriousness, though, I mean, you went with the Lumpy. Stop running. Stop trying to sack me. I'm with you. I'm right with you at 12 wins. I think the Eagles have a lot of green in front of them, and there's still time left in the season for them to learn how to gel it together, and they have a lot of experience in their coaching staff that I think will be a strong asset for them moving forward. I think that it's going to turn around. The season will turn around at some point. I just don't know if it's going to be too little, too late.
I mean, it really depends on how they come out of this early bye week.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. If they lose to the Browns, I'm gonna wish I had gone.
If they lose to the
Browns, my prediction automatically changes to 9 wins.
Nope, 12.
No, I know I'm stuck here, but I'm saying, realistically speaking, I'm expecting them to win 9 games if we lose to the Browns.
But it's like if they come out of the bye and they win, but it's a close game like they've been having every one of these past 4 games has been relatively close,
except for the Buccaneers game.
Except for the Buccaneers, yeah. So I'm thinking they need to come out of this bye with a nice big win over the Browns.
More than 10?
I think so. I think so.
I'd be happy with a 3-point win.
A win's a win, sure.
Let me put it to you this way. If they come out and they have a 3-point win against the Browns, but Jalen Hurts has 0 turnovers and 200 plus passing yards, I will be nutting my pants.
Well, yeah, sure. That would be.
But it's the turnovers, man. He's got to stop turning the fucking ball over.
Yeah.
It's insane.
All right.
I just don't get it.
we've talked about our team enough. Let's move
There's
on
never
to
enough.
other places in the league. Vikings continuing to prove everybody
Oh yeah, I forgot to take notes on
wrong.
that one. They did well.
They did very well. Green Bay
Yeah.
they did allow Green Bay to come back in garbage time, but for the first 3 quarters, the Vikings had 'em.
You want to explain to me what the fuck the Packers' scheme going into this game was, Mark? Because it was ugly.
I,
That they had Jordan Love go out there, his first game back from an injury, to throw 54 passes.
yeah,
Let's
that
get
was
that number down to 40. And like, dude, they paid Josh Jacobs, run him.
yeah, 9 carries for 51
Nine,
yards.
nine,
Yee.
yeah,
Like,
nine carries for their starting running back, 51 yards, but 54 passes for their recently injured quarterback. And it's just like it's obvious that Jordan Love was off in the game against the Vikings. He threw 3 picks. He rarely does that. I got sacked again by Lumpy. Um, she just keeps breaking through the O line today. And it's just like in that situation, what has to be going through your head to, to have Jordan Love just keep passing it into the ether? It doesn't make much sense.
I
But
don't.
even then, the Packers almost pulled it off still. So I'm
Yeah.
still really high on the Packers, even though they've been kind of getting beat up a
No,
little bit.
they are still a very good team. They are still a
Is
very
it,
good team.
dude? We're in week 4 now. After
Mhm.
what you've seen over the past few weeks, can you believe that the Eagles smacked them in the mouth offensively in the first week of the season and busted their ass with all of the Packers starters on the field? Like the team that played the Packers was not the team that played the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I know.
What the hell happened?
I don't.
It's kind of weird, the stark comparison between the two.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right. Let's see what else happened in
Oh, I got
the.
more. Don't worry. Um,
All right. Who do you want? Well,
so Caleb Williams,
oh God, here we go.
not the worst this week. He actually was not that garbage this week. 17 for 23. Pretty good completion percentage there. 1 touchdown, 0 turnovers, 157 yards. The Bears running backs definitely pulled a lot of weight on this one, and the Bears ended up getting the job done. And it was a close one, but they did win. Um, I will say Caleb Williams managed the game particularly well. He did a very good job. He looks like he's starting to really step into his role now. And the Bears, as an organization, Jesus fucking Christ, draft some O linemen. Caleb Williams gets pressured almost every single play. You need to get that man some O linemen. That boy, oh Lord, they coming.
That boy ain't right.
Yeah, like they need to buy that man some protection. I'm gonna just be realistic here. I am not willing to say that Caleb Williams sucks one way or the other until the Bears draft at least 3 or 4 different O linemen who end up all being at least half decent. I'm not going to put it on Caleb Williams. And honestly, for that matter, Justin Fields as well, who is doing exactly what I said he would in Pittsburgh, which is winning. So what else you got, Marky?
Um,
Because I got 2 more.
let's see.
I got 2 more. Oh wait, no, I got 3 more. So let me just jump into one of mine.
Okay.
Seahawks, Lions.
Ooh.
Seahawks aren't frauds, but the first half of that game was a disaster. That was bad. That first half of that game, they almost came back, but that first half was fucking rough. But I have to say, Jared Goff, ooh, doggy, Jared Goff is a franchise fucking quarterback. That dude's a freak. Oh my god! Here, hold on. Let me refresh my memory of the stat. Yeah, he threw more touchdown passes than he got incompletions. The dude, that's just he's wild. He's a wild man. He's a
No,
wild
Jared
man out here.
Goff came out to ball, and ball
So
he did.
it's been I think 3 years now. Can we have a verdict on who won in the Rams and Lions trade when the Rams gave up Jared Goff for Matthew Stafford? I said at the time that it was the biggest mistake the Rams have ever made. At this point, was I right? And I say, fuck yeah, I was right. Jared Goff is fucking incredible. That dude's a bona fide franchise quarterback. And they gave him up for Matthew Stafford and a side of peanuts. I mean, don't get me wrong. With Matthew Stafford, they did win a Super Bowl. But at the same time, longevity-wise, Jared Goff was just obviously the better choice. I mean, if the Rams, their only thought was we're winning a Super Bowl and we're doing it this season, then yeah, sure, that's fine. They got Matthew Stafford and won a Super Bowl. But as far as like repeat performances go, Jared Goff would have given him a much better shot at repeat performances. That dude has reached my heart by dressing up as Willy Wonka every Halloween. And every time I see that image of him dressed as Willy Wonka, I think of the Rams as the Oompa Loompas. And I just cannot help but feel as though the Rams have made a huge mistake. I mean, he's so good. He's incredible.
Yeah.
It's one of the first times that a first overall pick quarterback has turned out real well.
Yeah, and just a quick note, because I didn't really look at the stats until now. The Seahawks in that game generated 516 yards of offense.
And still lost.
And still lost.
A lot of it was penalties.
Yeah. But like,
yeah, they had some rough penalties.
They had Geno Smith throwing for 56. He threw 56 times. What?
Yeah, I bet you his arm was tired. That's like backyard football numbers.
Poor guy was like, please let me just hand off the ball.
He was just like, ah! He started throwing with his left. Another thing that I wanted to bring up in this episode, because we're starting to get low on time here. Josh Allen fell apart in this game against the Ravens. Like, dude, he was really off, and the Bills lost to a very heavily wounded Ravens team. A big time. Derrick Henry ran a train on the Buffalo Bills. That was disgusting to watch.
First Baltimore play, 87 yards and a touchdown.
Dude, it was disgusting. Josh Allen was not on point. Not just Josh Allen, don't get me wrong. He's an awesome quarterback. I don't think anybody would debate that. But as a team, the Bills screwed the pooch. They had a chance to really come out and put their label on an AFC championship style matchup, and they fucking blew it. In the words of John Madden, you blew it. And I really don't even know what else there is to say. He just completely miffed it.
Yeah.
The whole Bills miffed it. I keep saying he, but I mean the Bills, not Josh Allen specifically, though. He did very much underperform.
Mhm. Only 180 yard,
Yeah,
20,
16
16
for
for 20.
29.
They
They left him hanging out to dry. Oh.
the God of Fire had been doused that day.
It was not a good showing for Mr. Fireman. Um, and then the last thing for the week, or did you have anything else before we get to our last segment?
No, everybody else performed pretty much as expected. For the most part, a lot of the games were rather close this week,
Except the Eagles game.
except for a couple. Like I would say that the overall majority seemed like everybody was performing kind of
Yeah,
equally.
except for the Eagles and the Communists
The
and the
Eagles, the
Ravens.
Commies, the Ravens, San Francisco, Tennessee,
Yeah, kind of the Lions and Seahawks.
kinda.
There were some of them that were standout. But I agree with you. It felt pretty lackluster. So are you ready for the last segment?
Last segment being
Fraud Watch. All right,
okay.
Mark. Who's your fraud?
My fraud. Let me just go take a
This
look.
was the easiest Fraud Watch pick of my life this week.
Well, I always go first. Why don't you go first this time?
All right, it's Aaron Rodgers. Brother,
Damn. I should have gone
you're on
first.
Fraud Watch.
Fuck, I
Yeah,
should've gone.
I was trying to give you the softball on that one. But,
Damn it.
dude, Aaron Rodgers is on Fraud Watch. 24 for 42, 225 yards. Lost a game 10-9 to a rookie Bo Nix Broncos team. And also got his knee injured in the game. He fucked his knee up. It doesn't really get much worse for Aaron Rodgers than this past week. So yeah, he is on Fraud Watch. I think that stat line is everything I needed to say. So Marky, who's your Fraud Watch?
I'm sorry. Some breaking news as it is Thursday night.
Oh, did they win?
No, they they have they have some time. They might tie the game to send it to overtime.
Yeah, I see 1 second. Are they kicking a field goal?
They are. Though they did kind of get fucked by the refs.
Okay, well let's hurry up and finish
Okay.
Fumble
All right, I'm
Forecast here.
sorry.
Who's your
Fraud
fraud?
watch. I don't know. Texans. Yeah,
Honestly, for real.
like Jacksonville is not a good team, and you only beat them by 4. I get that it was a divisional game, so Jacksonville probably played a little bit harder.
Not a good
Then-
excuse.
But if CJ Stroud throws 345 yards, that should be more than a 4-point game,
Yeah, the Texans deserve
especially
Fraud
against
Watch.
the Jaguars.
Now keep in mind, Fraud Watch doesn't mean you are a fraud. It means you're on warning for being called a fraud.
Yeah.
So I mean, the Texans can still turn it around.
All right.
But yeah, have a nice night, everybody. Remember,
wait. We need to do week 5 predictions.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. I completely forgot about the week 5 predictions.
Yeah. And it's going to overtime.
Yeehaw, partner.
Anyway, I'm going to say that the game to watch this week 5 of the NFL 2024 season. Fuck, I had it. Where'd it go?
I'm gonna steal it from you if you don't hurry up.
Fuck, where did I see it?
Oh, Marky, you're blowing it.
Buffalo, Houston.
That's your game of the week?
I can't. I'm looking. I was just pick.
For me, game of the week is Cardinals 49ers. I think that game is going to be an absolute slugfest. I'm very excited to watch that football game. I also think that the Giants Seahawks is going to be a very fun game to watch too.
Fuck! It was the Giants Seahawks. That's what I wanted to say. Like I had
Well,
seen it.
I
I
beat
had
your
seen
ass,
it earlier.
so.
Yeah, I know. Whatever.
No, you can still have it because I picked
I
the Cardinals 49ers anyway.
I fucked it. I ruined it. I'm sorry.
You're not forgiven.
Yeah, I know. Well,
But I'm excited to
thank
watch
you.
the Vikings beat the shit out of the Jets. I'm excited to watch the Commies beat the fuck out of the Browns. I'm excited to watch the Jaguars lose again. Yeah, I don't know. I want to see the Steelers smack the fuck out of the Cowboys, maybe injure a Dak Prescott or two. TJ Watt slam that man in the dirt. But yeah, the game I'm definitely most excited for is the Cardinals 49ers. Faux shout.
Right.
And I'm rooting for the Cardinals in that one, just so it's clear.
Yeah, no, I figured.
Well, I mean, the 49ers are a much bigger chance of winning the NFC than the Cardinals do. So,
I know.
as many losses as they can take is good for me. All right, let's wrap it up
All right.
in a bow.
Thank you for watching Week 4 of the Fumble Forecast 2024 season. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully, when the Eagles come out of this bye, we'll be in fighting form and we'll be able to recreate the 2022 season. Most likely not, but let's hope for the best. So, Tom, do you cast your little spell?
So, remember to follow us on Spotify. Remember to follow us on YouTube. Remember to follow us anywhere you can get your podcast. That's the Fumble Forecast. And as always, tell your friends and like the video. Have a nice night, everybody. Bye, guys. See you next week.
Bye bye.